From time to time, I'm going to respond to emails we get right here on these videos so you can get a feel of my passion for the work we're doing. You know, it's all about lifting spirits and lifting lives with passion. Not too long ago, I received an email from a woman who was complaining about the fact that her boyfriend, her partner of a number of years, could not bring her to orgasm. And she went on to read in this whole email about the fact that, you know, he's not sensitive to her needs, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and by now at his age, he should have figured out a woman's body, and it went on and on and on. And I sat there and I felt sad, honestly, for both of them. Over the past 20 years, I've had a chance to work with a lot of women and a lot of couples who struggle with this. And I'm going to give you 3 ideas or 3 ways that we can deal with this lack of female orgasm today. Number 1 is we have to be willing to say the words, okay? Drop the shame, drop the guilt. This is an important part of a relationship between a man and woman, is that they're able to connect physically with each other, mentally, spiritually, and reach that point of expression or orgasm with each other. Now, it doesn't have to always be at the same time, and for some couples, quite frankly, that just doesn't work. They haven't worked hard enough, or maybe they haven't really experienced what it's like to go to that place. They haven't asked for help. But for so many people I've worked with, the opposite is true. So let's figure out, how does this happen with so many women in our country? Why is it that so many women never even reach that point of ecstasy, that point of orgasm or ejaculation with their partner? Well, let's look at the basics. Number 1. One reason for that could be the fact that the woman does not even know her own body. And this is not a judgment, it's just a fact. Lots of people that I've worked with have come in when I've said, well, when you're touching yourself or you're pleasuring yourself or you're bringing yourself to your own orgasm without your partner, what is it that you do? And what you just saw is exactly what I get, a blank face. It's like, well, I don't want to touch myself, and I really don't know what that means, and I don't know if I've ever really experienced that. So the good news is with number 1 is that we can shatter that. As a woman becomes more comfortable with her own body, as she gets to know what feels good, as she gets to know what brings her to that point of release, then she has the opportunity to go on to step number 2, which is going to be sharing this information with her partner. But as a woman, if you're sitting here, or if your partner is a woman and you know that this information is important, ask her to watch this video by herself first, because this is a topic that carries a lot of shame and a lot of guilt for many women, especially if they don't know even what they need to do to bring themselves to that place of ecstasy, that place of release. So number 1 is every woman should really get to know her own body, should experiment, should use lotions and gels and toys to find out what it's like to be stimulated in different areas. Number 1. Number 2 is that if a woman isn't reaching orgasm with her partner, I've got to ask the second question, and that is, have you shared with your partner what your explicit physical and emotional needs are in order to bring you to that place of ecstasy? Now, many women haven't done that, quite frankly, because we'll go back to the word shame and guilt. They feel uncomfortable saying, now, honey, would you put your finger here? Would you do circular motions? Would you insert your finger there? Would you press against the upper part of my vagina? You know, we're afraid of saying those things. We're afraid of being graphic, if you will, with our partner. Even if we know what we need to please ourselves, we're so afraid of embarrassed to be rejected, to have our partner go, I'm the man, I know how to do this, you know, and sometimes that happens and that's unfortunate. But more often than not, when I'm working with women who are my clients in this profession, I'll ask them, have you taken them step by step? Have you taken your partner step by step of what they need to do, the pressure needed, the motion needed, the repetition needed? And this is even before making love, you know. Have we gone through it? And that's the second biggest block. The first biggest block is that a woman may not even know her own body. The second biggest block is a woman may not have taken the time to bring her partner through multiple experiences of what her needs are. Now, I'm going to separate for a second and say, and there are emotional needs here too. You know, you may have to say to your partner, I can't just rush into bed with you when you come home. I can't just jump like a guy can jump. I mean, a guy can get turned on like a light bulb, right? Let's face it. Many times that's all it takes, and bingo, the guy's ready to go. Women react from a different perspective. Most women do. There has to be an emotional buildup. There has to be a feeling of safety and comfort. Have you shared with your partner what that means to you? Do you need a longer period of time to build up before you even get physical? So let's go there and explain that. It may take more than one time, ladies. It really might. The second part then is to slow down and take them through the movements necessary to bring you to that point of ecstasy. You guys both need this. You guys both deserve this, to know each other's bodies really well. That's the second category. The third category is women who have done exactly what I'm saying, and that they have said to their partner, let me take you through, and this might be the fourth or the fifth or the sixth time. Don't be the macho guy. You don't have to pretend to know my body. You don't know my body. Let me show you one more time, how it is that I need to be stimulated. Now, some women will sit in front of me and say, David, I've done all this, and he's still not getting it. He's still rushing. He's still going too fast. He still isn't listening to my needs. I'll take him through and take his hand and place it inside myself and show him exactly what I need to reach that state. But he becomes impatient when it doesn't happen. In that case, the couple needs to be in the counseling yesterday. The man needs to be talking to someone else and becoming more sensitive and learning how to communicate sensitively with his partner. So that's a dual thing. If you're in category number 3 and you really have taken your partner through it and they're still not having the patience and they're still not slowing down, then get into therapy, get into counseling, work with a minister like myself, and find a way to express yourself with your partner in front of an unbiased third party so you can move to this place that we're talking about. Now, let me go to the final act here, and that is this. The ability for, and we'll talk about a man and a woman here for the case of ease, for a man and a woman to reach a space where the woman feels fulfilled, where she's reached ecstasy, where she's reached orgasm, and it is because the guy knows exactly what needs to be done, is one of the most beautiful experiences that you can have on this earth. It really is truly awesome. When you're in a committed relationship and you're talking openly and you're sharing how you love to be touched, how you love to be stimulated orally, let's say, or whatever else that you really desire, to go there and all the walls down and being transparent and being open and loving is so beautiful. But if you're a woman and you haven't taken this next final step that I'm going to encourage you to, I'm going to ask you to do it today. And that is this. Write out a story for your partner of what it would be like to be brought to an orgasm. Write out to him what your needs are, what you would like him to do. When he comes in, how would you like him to approach you? When you finally get to the act of being physical, what would you like him to do with his fingers, with his mouth, with every part of his body? How is it that you need to be stimulated? Write it in a story form. Let him know you're doing it. Tell him that you've written something that you would love for him to read. It's this kind of like mixture of fantasy reality, and because sexual intimacy should be fun, where that he could read a storyline and get to know your body. After he reads it then, and then let's say that you're in the bedroom, you can take him through slowly, with patience, about how to touch you, how to hold you, how to make love to you in a way that is so sacred, so beautiful, that you will regularly reach that orgasmic plateau, where that you'll regularly share the ecstasy of the female orgasm. If this wasn't such an important topic, and if I didn't face this on a regular basis, we wouldn't be talking about this today. The end result is so important for a couple in order to bond at the deepest level possible. I'm going to ask you, please, as a woman, be responsible for this. Take action. Understand that your man, the ego, might get in the way sometimes, and he should feel that he should be able to take care of you. But if it's not happening, go ahead. Take control. You're going to feel so much better. The end result will be phenomenal, just like the tons of couples I've worked with, where after 2 or 3 or 4 months, when they have never been able to experience this orgasm together, that they're doing it on a regular basis. It will help you to bond mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. It really is important. Take this information. When you're watching this video, if it connects with something your mom should hear, your sister, your best friend, share it. Let them know this is here for them as well. Let's drop the shame, drop the guilt, and get into this most amazing space in life with your partner. And for more information, go to talkdavid.com, because we've got all of this on our blogs and more. And if you want to contact me, this is the work I do. I'd love to help you as well. talkdavid.com. Have an amazing day.